Hello, this is Goshen Athelian coming to you from Prospercraft and playing the server Daybreak. So we're playing Horizons 2 Daybreaker, and this is a quick base tour. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing and how we're coping with day-to-day life in the mod pack Daybreaker. So let's get started. First thing I wanted to show you is something that Zephyr has brought to our attention. It's pretty cool. So if you cut down a Yutsu tree, YUZU, and you get Yuzu logs, if you put those across, you get this amazing looking thorny fence. And when placed, it looks like that. Check that out. How cool is that? And yeah, you double it up. Looking good. So that is probably the coolest fence I've ever seen in Minecraft. Thank you, Zephyr. So the other thing I wanted to show off a little bit is this modular armor. Some user made this for me. I need to get some different skin on it, but it looks pretty amazing. One of the things it can do is run like the wind. So this is running. Oh yeah, you can barely control it. It's so fast. It is adjustable, but if you want to run fast, and it flies and puts you in creative flight. So if you double tap, zoom, super fast. It also has lots of things. Now, the trick to using this, and the people having problems with it, is you have to hold it in your hand, and then you have to right-click with it. Bam, there it is. So that shows all of the additions and things you have for it. There's a config here. There's information that talks about what to do and things like that. But then on the right-hand side that's hidden by NEI is really where you want to use. So hit O to exit NEI, and then you can get access to the upgrades. If you look at the recipes, look at that. There is vanilla recipes for all this stuff. Hopefully, maybe in the future, they'll add more modded recipes, but right now, you use vanilla blocks for all this stuff. Pretty OP. Magnet night vision. I mean, the resident energy cell is just diamonds and redstone. So it's pretty OP, really easy to get, easy early game. Make sure you use black wool when you're making it, and you'll have some crazy armor. We'll turn NEI back on. So that's the armor, and that one thing, if you upgrade all the energy, it holds 50 million RF per piece. It has a solar helmet, so if you go AFK, you can sit there and charge. Just make sure you don't AFK with the flight mode on, because then you'll be burning up 50 million RF by the time you get back. I did that today. All right, so let's talk about the base a little bit. You might be familiar with this room here. This is kind of our bedroom where we've got, usually we have our machines and things. So some of the things we're doing on a daily basis is this equivalent exchange has become extremely important to everybody on the server. Because there's no material energy, applied energistics in this pack, you can't store things traditionally in the traditional sense with the just putting them in energy and having something look. So the way you handle that is you have this equivalent exchange tablet. And in a nutshell, the way it works is you have a research station here, and anything you put in here, it will research it. If it will go in. Some things don't go in. A lot of things don't go in. But if you can shift click it in, it'll research it, and from that point forward, you can synthesize it based off of using other energies. If it goes black like this, it means you already know it. If you stick it in and it doesn't go black, it'll learn it. And so, like it's doing now with the Utsu log, it's learning how to make a Utsu log. So I can just hurry and pull it out of the system. I can get a stack of it. I can get a whole inventory full of it, and it's all based off of how much energy you give the tablet. So I'll tell you how to give energy to the tablet. What you can do is anything you put in here, like dirt and cobble, anything that if you hold down shift and mouse, or just mouse over it, actually, just a mouse over, it'll say exchange energy. You put that in the system or in there on the edges, and it will let you make things. And so I made an arrow out of that. So I'll just make a whole bunch of arrows. So I just made all of these arrows by shift clicking off of that dirt and junk I had in there. If I had shift click with the diamonds in there, that would be a problem, because it would make more than I need. So I hit dia, and that I just changed it all back into obsidian and diamonds. So music discs have exchange energy as well, so it's a really good idea to learn those. So when you need them, you can synthesize them. So that's one of the big things we're using day to day. The other thing we're using a lot is this XP drain from OpenBlocks into a drum from extra utilities, and then that pipes out via a liquid transfer node into an OpenBlocks tank. So we can drain our levels into this thing and then come get levels whenever we want to enchant. The enchanter here is set up on a ender core and magical wood. Those things give this thing 30 levels. So it can enchant, things up to 30 levels just by having those blocks there. Nothing to show the tablet, pulling the block out, right-clicking it to view. Right-clicking to view what is trained on. Nothing that shows a tablet is pulling the book out. Okay, so if we pull this book out and then right-click holding the book, you can quickly see all the things we have taught our book. I mean, it's got 4 pages of stuff. Like we can do world interaction upgrades and XP drain and lots of things you wouldn't expect, like transfer nodes. And really nice because once you teach it, you make it and teach it once, you don't have to go through here and make it ever again. You just stick diamonds or lapis in there, because lapis isn't very common usually on this track, and you can just synthesize this stuff. You can synthesize nether stars with this thing. It's pretty crazy. Chunk loaders. Yeah, ender pouches, things like that. So it's a really good mod to have. Now the other thing to know about this is as long as you have a book in here and it's owned by the same person that is in here, anything learned over here gets transferred over to here. In fact, we have the same another tablet out here. Anywhere you craft, you'll probably want to just have a tablet in here. So you can craft things and have it go. Let's see. The other thing we want to show you is we have ore tripling, I believe, with a purification chamber. You hook a purification chamber that has oxygen fed in it from a electrolytic separator thinger. It's downstairs in the basement now, and then that gets fed via the config here on this side config. You have eject. Should be on. So eject will eject the output into the crusher, and then it crushes the ore, and then that takes the enrichment chamber, takes the crushed ores and sticks it into this chest. So then we have all these. We have a metallurgic infuser for each of the different types. We have redstone metallurgic infuser next to red one, because one's for iron, one's for obsidian. Compressed obsidian and compressed diamond. To make those through the enrichment chamber. You never put straight up diamonds in this thing or straight up redstone, because you get more if you run them through an enrichment chamber first. Let's see, what else do we have in here? We've got a sawmill, precision sawmill, and because it makes sawdust, which you need to make cardboard boxes to move spawners. All of our power comes from up there, and it goes down into these ultimate energy cubes, which are chained together. So all the energy gets stored, like we're half full with these. What else have we got? Compressor and stuff. So yeah. Oh, project tables. These are really cool. So project tables, if you ever play Ultimate Pack, you remember the project tables? This is pretty sweet. You can put a bunch of stuff in here and shift click stuff out, and it'll use up all of this inventory to craft it, and it holds the stuff. And so it's like, it's a decent replacement for the Tinker's construct table that holds stuff when you walk away. Like, oh, I'm missing one part. You can walk away and come back, and the recipe is still there. So that's really useful. What else we got in here? I think that's it for in here. This is a Minecraft bed, obviously, but this is a carpenter's bed. And one of the cool things about that, you can change the bedspread. Someone changed it again, but you just hit it with a hammer, a carpenter's hammer, and it will change the bedspread. This is ineffable glass. This glass is from extra utilities. It allows you to walk through, but not mobs. However, if you hold shift, you can't walk through. It makes it solid. It's kind of fun. Let's see, these barrels are amazing. This is from Routers Reborn. So these barrels, they show how much and a picture of it and the word of what it is. It's pretty cool. I like the coolest barrels I've ever seen, and they're multi-sided, like you can see it from all around. So that's really neat. From Routers Reborn. The other thing we've got is these chests. These chests auto sort for us. So if I hold down shift, you can see that each of these chests has a yellow line around it, it says they're linked. They're from Routers Reborn. They're enhanced inventories chests, but they've been enhanced. I crafted them in a special way that made them Routers Reborn. That's what these little funnels are on the top, and that means they sort things. So basically, you shift right click with your fist, empty hand, and you can tell it what you want to go in this chest. And so like this chest right here is our ingots and gems. So we have all ingots selected, all gems selected, redstone, which does get some of the redstone stuff like levers and things like that, which isn't as cool, but that's how you sort things. And so we have our ender chests that comes from a couple different places, our mob grinder and our miner, digital miner, and the stuff comes up here, it gets stuck in a chest, and once it gets stuck in any chest, it automatically sorts to the right chest. So like all of our wood goes in here, and our clay and dirt and gravel will go in there. Now, one thing to know about this that I figured out the hard way is when you walk up to a chest, see how Wayla at the top says all food, but then you look at the one right next to it that's attached, it says nothing. So that's because each of the side is configurable independently, and these approved obsidian chests have a scroll bar where you can see the rest of the stuff. So that's something to look about. If you want to, say like you set up a whole bunch of filters and you want it to filter, it only filters when you actually pick something up and put it back in. So the way to fix that is you just hit the sort button and then unsort, and it registers as it being picked up and placed, and so it'll sort all that stuff into the right chests. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's kind of how we're managing our inventories right now. A lot of people are using the tablet they just dust everything into the tablet and turn it into diamonds while they're playing, and if it doesn't go into diamonds, they just stick into a chest. We've got some soul shard things going, a soul forge here. We're cooking up making up some tiered soul shards. Looks like we're gonna auto package are going, making some compressed cobble. Yeah, nice. Behind that, behind these machines is our autocraft setup. We've started having electric compressor and some other things. It runs off of this mechanism because it's universal, which is pretty cool. We got our NASA workbench going on. This looks so amazing. We're going to get into this redstonic mod. That's one of the things I want to do in my next feature on, because it has some really cool drills. And this is Tully's workstation where he sat in the middle and just crafted all night long. He was crafting this really cool thing we're going to go look at next. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you in the base. So that's kind of how we're getting around day to day. And then we got this new toy here that, well, we got this blood altar that's getting really coming along. It's got some major, let's fly here so we can see all the stuff going on here. He's getting ready. He says he's ready. Drem says he's ready to summon a demon village and gather. So we're excited to see that. I'll make sure to record that. And then over here is Tully's baby. So check this out. So all these solar panels are attached, or part of these giant machines that are the towers that are taking this water inside and doing stuff with it, converting it into really neat stuff. And we got heavy water and deuterium and all the stuff. So we're getting ready to fire up a just crazy reactor that's going to produce so much power, it's insane. And but we need to have a place to put the power. So we're going to make the big capacitor thingers to hold the power. So yeah, that's kind of how we're getting along here. And food, you don't even have to like farm anymore. You just pull food out of the tablet because you can put baked potatoes and steak in there. And that's kind of how you eat. So that's how we're getting along. And please leave a comment if you have any questions below. I answer every question and reply to comments. Thanks for watching. This is Goshen Athelian from Prosper.